This is the million-dollar home of Francis Pete Tuvey, who ended his life in his driveway using a suicide machine he made from a plan that he downloaded from the internet. The machine was attached to a handgun. The 81-year-old English-born man had lived alone in the Burleigh Heads house. Chippy, Daniel Skews, working on a new house next door, was putting rubbish in a skip when he heard shots ring out on Tuesday morning. He and his fellow workers ran next door and found Mr. Tuvey dead in his driveway with bullet wounds to the head. Neighbours described the manner of his death as bizarre and said he had bought a new four-wheel drive only a few weeks ago. They described Mr. Tuvey as a wonderful neighbour and a kindly, alert gentleman.
Easter has brought a surprise to Gold Coast beaches. However, it's not the delicious chocolate kind we'd all hoped for. No, this surprise is small, slimy, and can deliver a serious sting. That's right, blue bottles are back, so beware. Southeasterly winds have washed hundreds of the marine stingers onto coast beaches, and they're set to stay for the long weekend. Lifeguards are urging swimmers to take extra care this long weekend, as the blue bottles and several rips will create dangerous conditions on our beaches.
An 80-year-old iconic Anzac statue is looking as fresh as ever thanks to the work of a Gold Coast sand sculptor. The statue, which has been based at Apex Park in Southport for several years, was cleaned and repaired by Luke Zolzman over a 4-day period. The statue was made by Italian stonemasons in 1926, entirely out of sandstone, and was modelled on an Australian World War I infantry soldier. The prize statue was damaged through natural wear and tear and had turned black in colour. The statue would be returned to Apex Park next week before the park's Anzac celebrations.
Hi, I'm Doug Parrington. In the editorial of the Gold Coast Bulletin on Thursday, we make a direct plea to the public about the road toll. Of course, we're advising people to take extra care on the roads this Easter, but we are particularly concerned that drivers, especially young ones, haven't been given the right messages by politicians and courts. We have begged the government and courts to act in a meaningful way to stop the slaughter, but nothing has happened. Courts continue to rely on weak penalties, such as fines, licence cancellations, and community service orders, to arrest the road toll. And we know that, such is the low regard for court authority, less than half the fines issued for young drinkers are paid. They simply don't bother. These penalties obviously aren't working, and the politicians don't seem too concerned about it. Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if the government went on the front foot and established weekend detention camps for offenders to teach them the error of their ways? As it stands, every excuse under the sun is made by offenders and their lawyers to avoid facing up to speeding and drink-driving crimes. Details of this editorial are in your bulletin today.